This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. South Korean Foreign Minister Park Jin said Saturday that Russia's attack on Ukraine and the global attention on that war had emboldened North Korea, which launched a long-range ballistic missile into the sea off Japan's west coast earlier in the day. The missile launch, North Korea's first since the start of the year, clearly signaled what Park called its intent to conduct additional provocations. Park was speaking at a global security conference in Munich, Germany. He went further.
If North Korea conducts the seventh nuclear test, which could happen at any time, it will be a game changer in a sense that North Korea could develop and deploy tactical nuclear missiles.
Top diplomats from the United States and Japan met with Park in Munich to discuss the matter. Here's what Secretary of State Antony Blinken told reporters afterward.
We have been very clear that our commitment to the security of our close allies and partners, South Korea and Japan, is ironclad.
Blinken also met on Saturday with China's top diplomat Wang Yi on the sidelines of the conference amid a running dispute between the two world powers over a suspected Chinese spy balloon shot down by the United States. A senior State Department official told reporters after the meeting that Blinken had condemned the recent incursion of U.S. airspace by the Chinese balloon and said it must never happen again. He said Blinken also warned against China providing material support to Russia for its war against Ukraine, and he emphasized the importance of keeping lines of communication open between China and the United States. Blinken said in a tweet that Wang did not apologize for the balloon during their meeting. And a group of Chinese officials arrived in Taiwan Saturday on the first visit in 3 years since the COVID-19 pandemic began, this at a time of soaring military tensions across the Taiwan Strait. This is VOA News. Rescuers have pulled more survivors from the ruins of buildings that toppled in the powerful earthquakes that struck Turkey and Syria nearly 2 weeks ago. AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
On the 13th day of rescue operations, 3 people, including a child, were extracted from under an apartment building in Antakya, the capital of Hatay province. Local TV reports the man, woman and child were transferred to ambulance after spending 296 hours buried under the Kanatli apartment block in the centre of the city. Footage showed medics fixing an IV drop to the man's arm as he lay on a stretcher. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Ghanaian footballer Christian Atsu has also been found dead under the building where he lived in southern Turkey after last week's massive earthquake. The news came from Atsu's Turkish sports agent. Atsu played for Turkish team Hatayspor. Atsu had been scheduled to fly out of southern Turkey hours before the quake, but a team manager said he'd opted to stay with the club after scoring the game-winning goal in a match on February 5th. Funerals have been held for 2 of the 3 Michigan State University students killed by a gunman who opened fire on campus on February 14th. AP correspondent Jackie Quinn.
20-year-old Brian Fraser was remembered by his family pastor at St. Paul-on-the-Lake Catholic Church in Grosse Pointe Farms.
He's one of those charismatic, smiling, humorous, good-natured young man that it's hard to not like.
Father Jim Belo says Fraser is safe in the hands of God after the attack at the school.
There was panic, there was bedlam, there was screaming, there was crying, there was fear.
And he urged other students not to be afraid to return. He also made sure to honor the other 2 students killed, all apparently random victims of a gunman who was disgruntled, according to police, and killed himself hours later. I'm Jackie Quinn.
The leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan bickered over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region on Saturday, highlighting their disparate positions and offering scant evidence that lasting peace was on the cards as they met in Munich at the security conference. Tensions between the 2 ex-Soviet neighbors have escalated over a 2-month blockade of the Lachin corridor, the only land route giving Armenia direct access to Nagorno-Karabakh. Peruvian President Dina Boluarte said Saturday that Colombian President Gustavo Petro should focus on dealing with the protests in his own country after the latter criticized Peru last week. During an event on February 11th, Petro accused Peruvian security forces of marching, in his words, like Nazis against their own people.
This is VOA News.
Please subscribe, like, or comment. Thank you.